We know that Ubisoft has had a hellish year in 2024, multiple failures and flops, and even a massive delay for one of their biggest IPs and what should be a game that people are really excited to get in their hands. The next Assassin's Creed game was set to be released in November of 2024. Well, that was until there was a lot of backlash. There was a lot of controversy surrounding this, finally giving fans what they want, a Japanese Assassin's Creed game, only to make the male protagonist black. The Yasuke Samurai, or the Samurai Yasuke, the black samurai, which wasn't really a samurai. But nevertheless, they decided we're going to delay this thing. So a lot of production issues. Reportedly, they wanted to change things to make sure it was more polished than something like Star Wars Outlaws, but they also wanted to change apparently a lot of the things they got culturally completely fucking wrong. But I think a lot of people knew that 3 or 4 months probably not going to be enough for this game. Well, yesterday, Assassin's Creed made the big announcement. They've delayed this thing once again from February back to March, just another month delay. So they want to incorporate player feedback. They want to make sure to deliver the best quality product. And if this was just a normal announcement without the controversy involved, I don't have any problem with people delaying games because I would rather you delay a game than put out a broken game. The problem is, I don't know if that's really what is going to be happening with it. I don't think they're going to be fixing the problems that people are actually caring about when it comes to this Assassin's Creed game in this 1 month time period. Even though a lot of the people that have been playing for a long time are bemoaning it really not being what they knew as Assassin's Creed, they've continued to sell really well despite departing from that, right? They've continued to soak up a normie audience. I think at one point in time, now that doesn't mean this many games sold because of different passes and things like that, but I think there were 20 million players for Assassin's Creed Valhalla at one point in time. It made them over $1 billion in revenue. So it's a big franchise. There's a lot riding on this. This isn't something that if it sells 4 or 5 million copies, that's a disaster for them if this thing sells 4 million copies. That's
but this one's Assassin's Creed Shadows. What was the one, the last one?
Mirage?
Mirage, sorry, yes. The Assassin's Creed Mirage. This one is Shadows. Yeah, Mirage didn't do very well either, like, at all. They were, like, branding it, we're going back to basics. You're actually going to be an assassin with the hood and the hooded blades. And it wasn't it. It wasn't it. It was
a little bit of a smaller game, though. You know what I mean? They have these different games. Like you said, they have different kind of levels of games that they release. This one is on par with some of the major ones like Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, that type of release. So it needs to perform that type of way. But something interesting was recognized by people when they announced, hey, guys, we're going to be delaying this. We care a lot about getting this Japanese culture stuff right. We really care about the Japanese people and their feedback. So we're going to release it on March 20th instead. Some people, found that interesting, the fact that the new release date is March 20th, because that's kind of a fucked up day, in Japan in general. March 20th in Japanese history is most notably known for the Tokyo subway sarin attack, which occurred on this date in 1995, where members of the Aum Shinrikyo cult released nerve gas in the Tokyo subway system. So yes, the worst modern domestic terrorist attack in history is when they decided to release this game. Have other games in Japan been released on that date? Absolutely. Are other games in Japan releasing on that date that are all about fucking Japanese culture? That's a different story. So they have a whole different realm of fucking controversy now. And it's been alleged all along that they have not done their research about Japan, that they're completely wrong about their Japanese history. That's been one of the major criticisms surrounding this game. And now here you have it. And the first place I saw this was from Veridark tweeting this out. I don't know. Yep. Like, that's first place I saw it. I don't know really where else it came from, but it's obviously blowing up now because this is a crazy fuck up to make when you've already been destroyed for the tone deaf moves you've had in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah, and the first time that it got delayed in November, when Ubisoft put out their statement, they're like, oh, okay, well, everybody who pre-ordered the game already, we're just going to give you the DLC for free, and we're just going to launch it as one complete game, which tells me that Ubisoft's plan all along was that their DLC that they were going to nickel and dime you for was actually developed to be a main story, a main part of the game that they just happened to pluck out, that we're going to charge you an extra $25-$30 for this. And you've seen it. They did it with Star Wars Outlaws with the Jabba the Hutt mission. They were going to charge you $30 extra for Jabba the Hutt so you can fight a Rancor. How cool is that? Like, we hadn't done it in fucking Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order. You get to fight a Rancor in Star Wars Outlaws. You get to see Jabba the Hutt. Remember him? When you're looking at it, that was probably developed and meant to be in the main game that they just decided to take out. We're going to charge you an extra $30 for. So then when you see Ubisoft do that with Assassin's Creed Shadows, that all but pretty much confirmed what their plan was, is that this extra DLC mission for Assassin's Creed Shadows was really developed for the game that they were going to upcharge you for. Now, oh, well, we're sorry that we're delaying the game. Well, since you pre-ordered it, we're just going to give away the DLC for free now. But now it's delayed again. So what happened to the people who got their full refund on the pre-order from November, who now have the ability to pre-order it again for its release next month? Now what are the... so I didn't read Ubisoft's full statement that we had there on Twitter. Are they refunding again, or are they holding everybody's pre-orders?
I think with just the delay of a month, I don't think they intend to do the refund. Because again, one of the big things was... because they also made in that announcement that they were completely revamping a lot of what those pre-order categories would be and would get. So they refunded everybody's. Now I think they're probably holding on to them. Not only are you having another delay, which is going to cost them even more fucking money. And I think part of it is maybe to get out of February, which is they're going to have a lot of competition in that space if they did it. Maybe that's why they're delaying. Maybe the game really isn't fucking ready yet. But if this thing comes out broken, buggy at all, people are going to fucking hammer them because now you've delayed it so many fucking times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I looked up the February video game releases for this year. Kingdom Come Deliverance, Civilization 7, The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2, Tomb Raider 4, 5, and 6 Remastered, The Lost Records, Avowed, Like a Dragon, Pirate, Yakuza in Hawaii, and Monster Hunter Wilds are all video games that release in February.
And I think that may have had more to do with this delay than any real things, if I'm being honest.
Could be.
I think they felt that was so crowded, and they need this game to be huge. Otherwise, Ubisoft is dead. That's the fact. Like, if this game is not a massive success for them, they're probably going to be forced into doing a buyout or taking the company private, selling it, whatever. That's the reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's how badly they've fucked up.
Yep, they fucked it up, man. And you're right. If it still launches like shit, which it probably will, they're going to get crushed more than they already are right now.
Yeah, so we'll see. Listen, this is not going to be Concord level player base, right? It's going to sell millions and millions of copies.
Mm-hmm.
But when your standard and when your break-even point may be, I don't know, 7 million copies, if this game's in like the $300 million budget range, which some of these big ones are for them, then you sell 5-6 million copies. That could still be a total and complete financial disaster for your company based on the IP you have, based on the money you put into it, and based on what you're expecting to get out of it. So we're going to have to see how it does compared to some of these other things we know have done a certain way. And like before all of the controversy, before they revealed, I 100% believe that they were expecting minimum 10 million copies sold for this. Assassin's Creed in Japan. Well, then you got a Black Samurai. Then wait, what are all these things here? What do you mean this structure is Chinese? That shouldn't be here in fucking Japan. What is this dog shit? This doesn't make any sense. Why are you selling merchandise with this type of emblem on it, which doesn't even make any sense for like a pre-World War II Japan? Like a lot of things like that were popping up that showed, despite all their virtue signaling otherwise about respecting Japanese culture while inserting a black man into the lead of this story, in truth, they had no idea what they were doing. And now this date that they've decided to release on goes a little bit back to that as well. It's like if you were You know, it would be like if you decided, hey, this all American, it's all about American culture and American history and like things like that. You decided to release it on September 11th. Like that's very similar
Right.
to that,
Right.
right? And that doesn't mean that other games aren't releasing on that date and things like that. But it's about, hey, this is all about Americana, American history, American legacy, respecting America, honoring America. September 11th release date.
That's like if Call of Duty came out on September 11th.
I don't even know if I would say like that because it's potential. It depends on the type of Call of Duty it would be, probably. But yeah, because that's what this is all about. It's all about honoring Japanese history, and we care about the Japanese people. We care about Japanese culture. And then that's different than fucking Sonic 3, Mastermind of Reality, or whatever the hell fucking game that came out like dropping on that day.
Yeah, you're right.
That's different than something like that happening.